Have you ever set a goal for yourself where you start very strong and very motivated? However, over time, you just simply somehow forget about it. Well, actually, I've been there myself, and many more times than I would like to admit. We are all familiar with the New Year resolution scenario, where come January we say New Year, New Me, and we set out these really amazing goals for ourselves. However, according to studies, it has been shown that around half of the people who set out New Year's resolutions give up by the end of January, and it seems that only 10% of the people manage to achieve the goal that they have set for themselves. I for sure made part of this 90% many times, and recently I started to think, how can I improve? As we only have one life and I don't want mine to be filled with would-haves and could-haves. Would you? Well, this video is not about feeling sorry for ourselves, but about doing something about it. In fact, in my search for answers to fix my goal-setting problems, I have come across this book. Wait a sec. Yeah, Atomic Habits. And actually, it was quite interesting. I found this book to be quite useful in understanding why I often do not achieve my goals, and it has quite a few tips on how to improve on this. So if you're anything like me and you would like to improve your goal-setting behaviors, I'd recommend you to watch this video, because in this video I will share with you 5 key points that I distilled from this book that helped me change my mindset around goal setting. Hi there, I'm Yvette, and this is the Curious Maltese channel. I'm a neuroscientist based in Munich, and in this channel I like to discuss brain-related topics and also some science advice that I found very useful along the way in my career. Mindset shift number 1. Success is not an overnight process. We often look at published research papers and think to ourselves, wow, this paper is so amazing, why am I not doing something like this? And we fail to see how much blood, sweat and tears went into the study. I am sure that for every research paper, the scientists concerned had to optimize their experiments, repeat experiments because they failed, or also they were investigating a line of thought which eventually the results indicated that it is not the case. However, when we see the published article, we see the final product and not the hardship that went into it. So what I'm trying to say here is that success is the product of daily habits and not a once-in-a-lifetime transformation. And in this book it is mentioned that we are what we repeat, as our small daily habits compound over time. One thing that I found very eye-opening in this book is that everything that we are or have is a lagging measure of our daily habits. For example, having healthy teeth is a lagging measure of the daily toothbrushing habits that one has. And having a nice experimental result is usually the lagging measure of our daily struggles and optimization. So remember, life is not a rom-com Hollywood movie where you can make a one-time transformational makeover and as a result you achieve whatever you want. And as mentioned in the book, unfortunately breakthrough moments are usually the result of many previous actions, which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. Mindset shift number 2. Understand why you are not achieving your goals. So as mentioned in the book, we usually do not manage to achieve our goals because of the discrepancy between expectations and reality. In fact, in this book, James Clear illustrates it quite nicely in this graph. But let's start to explain it. Usually our expectations are quite linear, in the sense that for 1 hour of our work, we expect 1 unit of results. Similarly, if we put in 5 hours of work, we expect 5 units of results. However, this cannot be further from the truth. And in reality, outcomes often follow an exponential trajectory, as you can see here. So our problems lie on the left-hand side of the graph, whereby our expectations do not match the reality, and usually we treat this as a sign that things are not working out and we should stop whatever we are doing. However, if we follow the graph, we'll see that our efforts will compound over time and eventually the results achieved will exceed expectations. James Clear calls this initial period of time as the valley of disappointment. I'm sure that all of us can recall a moment when we were in this valley of disappointment. For example, if I wanted to lose weight and instead of eating a burger, I decide to eat a salad. It's not that afterwards I can go on the weighing scales and see the results, not even after doing this for 5 times. However, if I decide to do this consistently over a long period of time, I will start to see the results. And similarly, with many goals that we want to achieve, there is a bit of a lag between our expectations and reality. And we have to remind ourselves that we are currently in the valley of disappointment. However, we should keep on going because eventually we will see the results. Mindset shift number 3. Goals are not enough. I know I started this video about goal setting. However, according to James Clear, we shouldn't stop ourselves at goal setting, as goals are really good at direction setting. However, it's the systems and habits that we adopt that will help us make progress. Because, yeah, let's think about it. Achieving a goal is just one point in time. However, usually our goals are a kind of a lifestyle, right? Usually our goals are not something that we can place on a to-do list, like buy a cake for my birthday or something like this. It's more about self-improvement. For example, for a long time I've been wanting to achieve a C1 in German, and it's been in my resolutions for the coming year for couple of years now. And let's say that I sit for the exam and pause. Now that I achieved my goal, doesn't mean that I will never ever open another German book in my life. And this is because usually the meaningful goals that we set for ourselves denotes a change in our lifestyle. And as with anything that is considered part of our lifestyle, these actions will continue on throughout our lives. And once we achieve a goal, we'll probably see that there is so much more room for improvement. So when we're setting ourselves a goal, we are literally embarking on a lifelong journey. For example, in my case, it's not to achieve a C1 certificate in German. However, it is to be comfortable using it on a daily basis. And this holds also for example, losing weight or being a better scientist. As James Clear puts it nicely, we do not rise to the level of our goals, however, we fall to the level of our systems. Mindset shift number 4. Your goals have to resonate with your identity. In this book, it is mentioned that any behavior that we want to acquire, however, does not match with our identity, usually it will not last. For example, you would like to run a marathon, however, you see yourself as a couch potato. Well, let me bet you that you won't run this marathon. And that is because the more you associate yourself with an identity, the more motivated you are to do those actions. And unfortunately, we often try to achieve a goal by changing our behaviors rather than our identity. So as you can see, just changing your behaviors without changing your identity won't get you far. And in fact, in this book, James Clear suggests that first we have to decide what type of a person we want to become. For example, if you want to run a marathon, you have to become a runner. Or if you decide to lose weight, you decide that you want to live a healthier life. Then once you have decided on what sort of person you would like to become, you have to start to prove it to yourself. And by repeating certain actions over and over again, you are reinforcing this new identity. So all these small wins will be accumulated to eventually become who you want to become. Well, stands to reason, right? If you run every day, then you become a runner, right? So what I'm trying to say is that your focus should always be on becoming that type of person rather than on a particular outcome. Mindset shift number 5. Understanding habits like a scientist. So as we've learned so far, and what the name of the book suggests, is that habits are very, very important. And practically, habits are the key to success. If we repeat the habit over and over again, this becomes a habit. Having good habits is really great, as habits do not require your willpower and they are unconsciously executed. So for every habit to occur, there need to be 4 steps. So first there should be a cue, then a craving, a response, and a reward. For example, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see a picture of a gorgeous cake. So this would be the cue. Then once I see it, I'll start to crave for something sweet. Second, craving. So in order to satisfy my craving, I'll put on a jacket and go to the bakery shop next door, which is my response. And once I start to eat it, I get a hit of dopamine, because that's what sugar does to us, and I'll be rewarded. And that would be number 4. And these steps need to be there for every habit that we have. And if a behavior is insufficient in any of these 4 steps, it will not become a habit. So by knowing this, we know that in order for us to lose a bad habit, we need to make at least one of these 4 steps unattractive. Whereas if we want to gain a good habit, we need to make sure that the cue, craving, response, and reward are all set and working nicely together. Because remember, if your desired behavior is not a habit, it will always rely on your willpower to be executed. And yeah, this is not something that we want, because willpower is not finite, and you cannot always rely on motivation to execute our desired actions. So first of all, thanks a lot for watching this far. And if you are struggling actually to achieve your goals, I would recommend to keep on reading the book, because as you can see, these are the notes that I made for this video. However, the rest of the book is full with tips, tricks, and advice on how to break bad habits and also how to create new good habits. Yeah, I found it very interesting. Actually, I highlighted a lot of it actually, and yeah, found it really, yeah. Also, if you have a goal that you would like to achieve and you want to share it with us, just leave a comment down below. And remember, write what type of person you want to become and not the goal, huh? And of course, if you like this video, I encourage you to like and subscribe. And who knows, maybe you would be interested in this one as well. Yeah. So yeah, before I let you go, I would like to share with you a quote from the book, which I think it will make you think a tiny bit. And it is so easy to overestimate the importance of one defining moment and underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. And with this, thanks for watching and see you next time.